Hey everybody, meteorologist Sarah Gannon here with your first alert weather update for you this afternoon. We've been dodging a few showers, especially along the riverside here at this point in time. Through the last couple of hours, we've been seeing some showers here along between southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, and Wisconsin there along the Mississippi Riverside. Still plenty of cloud cover off to the east. Over towards I-35, starting to see some gradual clearing. So some good news there. Some quieter weather here continuing as we move into the rest of this afternoon into the evening hours. Once these rain showers clear, we should be pretty dry and quiet here for the rest of tonight, extending into Tuesday before things get a little bit more active here heading into the midweek. So the rest of tonight, clouds will kind of gradually dissipate, expecting to see some partly cloudy skies here through about 6, 7, 8 o'clock here tonight. Temperatures pretty comfortable into those 70s. However, dew points have been pretty high today into the upper 60s, low 70s. So rather humid here in the region, and we'll continue with that over the next couple of days. But chance here for some areas of fog possible overnight, especially into tomorrow morning. Maybe some pockets of some dense fog may be possible at times, but just watch out for some patchy fog here overnight and into tomorrow morning. I'd say best timing through about from about 1 a.m. through about 7, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that morning commute likely to see the brunt of that patchy fog. And again, possibility for maybe even some pockets of dense fog possible in there as well. But big focus here heading into the midweek as we track the next big thing. We just talked about that chance here for some fog in the area. Really looking at some more heat and humidity sneaking in here for your Tuesday and Wednesday. We've already got the humidity in play. Now we'll bump up the temperatures heading into Tuesday and Wednesday, but a big focus at this point in time for Wednesday as we have a first alert day in place. We are tracking the potential for some strong to severe storms in the region. We right now have a level 3 out of a level 5 severe threat and possibly all hazards at play here with that threat for Wednesday. So behind that then, once we see that heat and humidity for Tuesday and Wednesday, things looking a lot cooler into the late week and the weekend. So we'll break down more of those forecast details ahead of this first alert day for Wednesday. That's ahead in your first alert forecast. Midwest Access. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Midwest Access. I'm meteorologist Sarah Gannon. We've been tracking a few showers out there this afternoon. Most of that activity now along, if not east, of the Mississippi Riverside here at this point in time. Future track radar showing some quiet skies for the Rochester area and areas west of the Highway 52 region. Still some showers, though, towards Houston, Winona County, and into Alameda County. A few sprinkles still remaining there around Decorah. Aside from that, clearing sky off to the west. So we'll be looking ahead to some quiet conditions here for the rest of this evening. Some good news there. A couple hours here where we still could track a couple sprinkles in the region, but past that, quiet night, temperatures cooling back into the 60s and 70s. A humid one, though, here for the area. One thing we'll watch out for tomorrow morning is going to be the possibility of some areas of patchy fog, maybe some localized pockets of dense fog possible at times. So use some extra caution for that morning commute. Especially during that morning commute is when we'll see likely the greater chance of areas of fog, pockets of dense fog heading into that morning commute. So looking ahead to the next big thing, we are talking about storm concerns for Wednesday. We do have a level 3 out of a level 5 severe threat for the area on Wednesday. This is across the entire KDDC viewing area, and you can see it stretches into portions of northern Minnesota, Iowa, much of Wisconsin included in this as well. So we do have a first alert day ahead for Wednesday. So here's what we need to know. We're expecting afternoon into those evening hours to be our prime time for severe threats. Timing wise right now, I could be looking at anywhere from around 1 to 8 o'clock in the evening, and all hazards may be at play with the threat for wind, hail, and a few tornadoes possible here on this first alert day, looking ahead to your Wednesday. So heading into tomorrow then, heat, humidity really building in. We'll see some areas of some fog possible there for those morning commute hours, but temperatures very hot. We'll see highs into those mid to upper 80s for us here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. So again, first alert day ahead for the area on Wednesday as we track that heat and humidity in the next couple of days. Storms concerning there for Wednesday. Past that storm threat for the late week into the weekend, a lot cooler and a lot quieter. We may still see some lingering showers and storms come Thursday, but gearing up for a quiet weekend here across southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Heading into later next week, still looking to continue on with more below average temperatures into those lower 70s. But a drier stretch, we should pick up some good moisture here in the next couple of days. But again, make sure to stay weather aware for that storm threats for the area on Wednesday. That's a look at your first alert weather.
Let's get another check on your first alert forecast here during Midwest Access.
Nice day out there, or at least for this evening. We'll be looking at some quiet weather on the way. Looking at the opportunity for maybe some areas of patchy fog, patchy dense pockets of fog possible heading overnight into that Tuesday morning commute. So do use some extra caution there, but things will be very hot and humid here the next 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday, we have a first alert day for as we track the threat for strong to severe thunderstorms across southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Back behind that stormy system, we'll be looking at some stray storms, maybe still lingering for Thursday, and things looking a lot cooler heading into the weekend and especially next week. Chief Meteorologist Nick Jansen will have all those latest first alert forecast details ahead of our first alert day on Wednesday. That's coming up in your full forecast. And a first alert day is ahead for Wednesday as we track the threat for strong to severe storms. More on those first alert forecast details are ahead. First alert day is ahead for the area on Wednesday. We are tracking the threat for strong to severe storms in our region. And right now we have a level 3 out of a level 5 severe threat for the local viewing area, and potentially all hazards may be at play here on Wednesday with wind, hail, and a few tornadoes possible. In addition to that, we'll see heat and humidity not only Wednesday, but tomorrow as well. So a couple hot and humid days on the way. We do have a level 3 out of a level 5 severe threat, as I mentioned, and this is just a little west of the I-35 area. So Mankato region south and further east across the riverside into much of Wisconsin. So this is including the main chunk here of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Tomorrow, no rain, no severe storm concerns, just heat and humidity. We'll be looking at high temperatures tomorrow in the mid 80s to upper 80s, possibly approaching that 90-degree mark in the Mankato area. And with that heat comes some sunshine and dew points in the upper 60s to low 70s. So a good combination, good fuel on the way for those storms come Wednesday.
And we know the first alert weather team is all over it, so we'll be keeping a close eye, Sarah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Check back.
Continuing to track our next storm threats on the way for Wednesday as we look ahead to a first alert day for us here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. We'll take a look at that allergy report here this evening. Ragweed and mold at low levels, grass at a moderate level, dust and trees remaining at high levels. Looking ahead to tomorrow, some foggy conditions to kick off that morning commute. Plan ahead for that. Looking forward to heat and humidity on the way for Tuesday and into Wednesday. More on that first alert day. Those details are in your forecast next. We are gearing up for a first alert day on the way. It's been hot and humid. Now we're tracking the next big thing, and that is this first alert day that's on the way for Wednesday. Right now, timing wise, we are looking at Wednesday early afternoon into the evening. So a good chunk here of your Wednesday. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts and updates and warnings, and we'll continue to keep you posted all throughout this entire stretch. We right now are looking at a level 3 out of a level 5 severe threat for southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. And in terms of threats, all hazards may be at play with wind, large hail, and a few tornadoes possible as well. So Wednesday will be a very active day. This is that severe storm outlook. Right now we are looking at that level 3 threat from Mankato to the I-35 region, Highway 52, and across the river into much of Wisconsin. You can see it does include a very large chunk here of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. So that level 3 threat in the brown, you can see how extensive this is, stretching from the Duluth, Twin Ports area down south of the Davenport region and all the way as far east as the Michigan, Lake Michigan. So a good chunk of the upper Midwest potentially being impacted come Wednesday. So what we know in terms of timing right now, specifically, we can kind of fine tune things, and we'll continue to keep a close eye on that timing and adjust things and update you as needed. Right now, looking at about 1 in the afternoon through about 8 o'clock Wednesday evening. However, there is still a question, and that's how long morning storms they could impact us come that round come Wednesday afternoon and evening. So there is a line of thunderstorms expected to move through overnight Tuesday into early Wednesday, and if they linger around too long, it might not allow the atmosphere to recharge for that afternoon round. So keeping an eye on that very, very closely. Tomorrow, we are looking at a chance for some areas of patchy fog, some pockets of dense fog possible tomorrow morning through that morning commute. Daytime hours, though, looking at some nice sunshine. High temperatures will be in the upper 80s, maybe approaching 90 in the Mankato area here for Tuesday. Wednesday, seeing more of that heat and humidity, but things a lot quieter there once we clear that severe threat for the area on Wednesday. Here's a look at your 10-day forecast for the Rochester area. Some morning morning fog possible. Then we get some afternoon sunshine. It'll be hot and humid, rather uncomfortable here the next couple of days as those highs climb in the upper 80s, approaching 90. Maybe some stray storms lingering Thursday, but things very quiet, a lot more comfortable. Low 70s even for highs by Sunday into next week.
I think a lot of people are eager to get to that point, but man, we really have to keep an eye on Wednesday.
Sure do.
All right, and we know you'll do that, Sarah. Thank you so much.
We are continuing to track our severe storm threat for the area on Wednesday. A first alert day is ahead. First alert, though, to some concerns heading into tomorrow morning's commute. Allow for a little extra travel time and use some extra caution as we have the possibility of some areas of fog and pockets of dense fog during that morning commute, anywhere from around midnight to about 8 a.m. Looking at some fog potential for us in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Take it easy on those roads. I'll have another update on our severe threat for Wednesday ahead in your forecast in just a few minutes. I have the first alert to some foggy conditions possible tomorrow morning, plus a first alert day ahead for Wednesday. All of those latest forecast details are ahead in your forecast. We have a first alert day on the way for Wednesday as we track the threat for strong to severe storms. Right now, we are looking at a level 3 out of a level 5 severe threat for the area, and all hazards possible at place for the area here with wind, hail, and a few tornadoes all possible there for Wednesday. So a lot to keep an eye on here heading into the midweek. Oh, and did we mention it'll be hot and humid too? We're expecting that tomorrow and then again Wednesday. So some good fuel for these thunderstorms by Wednesday. A look at the severe storm outlook. We have that level 3 threat. So you can see highlighted in the brown here. This does stretch just west of I-35 towards Mankato, south, and this does push all east. So a vast majority here of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa in that level 3 threats. Also areas just to the west there, southwestern Minnesota and northwestern Iowa there in a level 2 threat. So keeping a very close eye on that severe threat for the area on Wednesday. Tomorrow, gearing up for heat and humidity. High temperatures there into the upper 80s, pushing 90 in the Mankato region. No rain. Keeping an eye, though, on that severe threat for Wednesday. Brock? We continue to track the forecast for some areas of patchy fog heading into tomorrow morning. Some pockets of dense fog may be possible as well. So use some extra caution when it comes to that morning commute for your Tuesday. Afternoon looking hot and humid with high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, possibly approaching 90 in some locations. Stay cool, stay hydrated. Then we're gearing up for severe storms possible on Wednesday. A first alert day is ahead. Those details are next. The weather will be hot and humid here the next couple of days. The next big thing, though, is going to be the threat for severe storms. First alert day is ahead for us on Wednesday as we track that threat for strong to severe storms. Timing-wise, Wednesday afternoon, early afternoon into the evening. And right now we are looking at a level 3 out of a level 5 severe threat for much of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. And all hazards may be at play with strong to damaging winds, large hail, and a few tornadoes possible as well. So let's take a look at that severe storm outlook. You can see highlighted here in the brown the level 3 out of a level 5 severe threat. This does stretch as far back as the Mankato area and as far east as the Lake Michigan region. So a large swath here stretching from Duluth all the way down towards the Davenport area. So locally, vast majority of the viewing area included in that level 3 out of a level 5 severe threat. So what we know timing wise, more specifically, anywhere from about 1 to 8 p.m. on Wednesday is what we're expecting timing wise for storms. However, we do have a question, and that's going to be how long our morning storms will linger, and could that potentially impact that storm threat for the evening hours. So we are expecting to see a line of some showers and thunderstorms, maybe a couple stronger storms Tuesday, late night, overnight into early Wednesday. And if those don't quite move out in enough time, it could potentially impact our storm's abilities to, the atmosphere's ability to re-strengthen here and cause those storms by the evening hours. So tomorrow, no storm concerns expected. We're looking at some foggy conditions, though, to kick off the day. And then we get hot and humid by the afternoon with high temperatures into the upper 80s, maybe approaching 90. Mankato area could be looking at possibly some low 90s Tuesday and Wednesday with that high heat and humidity. Behind those storms then for later next week into the weekend, looking much quieter. 10-day forecast for the Rochester region, that first alert day in place for Wednesday as we track that severe threat for the area. Things looking a lot quieter, a lot more comfortable, low 70s there by Sunday into next week.
Yeah, that's going to feel good, especially after the heat and humidity coming our way.
Oh, yes.
Thanks, Sarah. We're back with sports after this.
Thanks, Nick. Here's one more look at that 10-day forecast. First alert day ahead for the area on Wednesday, tracking the threat for strong to severe storms, a possible outbreak for us here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. So keep a very close eye on the forecast here in the next couple of days leading up to those storms. Heat and humidity in full force here. So feeling rather icky outside the next couple of days. Try and stay cool, stay hydrated if you're able to. We are, though, tracking some much anticipated relief. The temperature is cooling back into those lower 70s by Sunday into next week. So below average after such a long stretch of warmer than normal temperatures.
And we're focused on Wednesday.
Yes.
Thanks for being with us, everyone. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow night at 9.
We are keeping a very close eye on Wednesday. A first alert day is in store as we track the threat for strong to severe storms through our area. We are looking at a level 3 out of a level 5 severe threat for portions of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. And all hazards may be at play here come Wednesday with large hail possible, some strong to damaging winds, and maybe even a few tornadoes possible too. In addition to all of that, we'll have some good fuel for those thunderstorms as we track some high heat and humidity here, not only Wednesday, but tomorrow as well. So you'll be noticing that rather prominently here the next 2 days. Here's a look at that severe storm outlook. All of the KTTC viewing area is under this level 3 out of a level 5 severe threat. You can see this highlighted in brown. It stretches as far north as the Duluth area, far south of as the Davenport region, even a little further south than that, and even stretching out towards Lake Michigan. So a wide area impacted or under that level 3 threat. Heading into tomorrow, I want to give you the first alert to some potential impacts to that morning commute, tracking the possibility of some areas of patchy fog, maybe some pockets of dense fog possible as well. Heading into tomorrow, we'll track those foggy conditions out for those morning commute times, and then things looking much quieter for the afternoon. It will be hot and humid, though, some sunshine. High temperatures expected to be in the mid to upper 80s for the area.
All right, thank you, Sarah. We'll check back in soon.
All right, if you have vacation plans up north.
I have the first alert to storm concerns heading into Wednesday, tracking the threat for strong to severe storms across portions of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Heads up, though, especially heading overnight and into your Tuesday morning. We're tracking the possibility of some patchy to pockets of dense fog in the area. Right now, looking at visibility down to about 2 miles in the Decorah area. Looking at visibility heading into the overnight, that morning commute could be a little slow with those pockets of dense fog possible. Keep an eye on the forecast here heading into Wednesday as we track those severe storm threats. More details are next.
Here's your first alert weather with meteorologist Sarah Gannon.
We continue to track the opportunity for some storms on the way by Wednesday. Coming off of a decent weekend, but humidity and heat on the rise here the next 2 days. First alert day ahead for your Wednesday, where we track Wednesday early afternoon through the evening. That best timing here for showers and storms. That severe threat as well. Right now, we do have a level 3 out of a level 5 severe threat for us here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa, and all hazards possibly at play here for Wednesday. Wind, large hail, and tornadoes all possible. So a lot to keep an eye on here heading into Wednesday. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts and warnings ahead of this eventful day. Severe storm outlook, you can see highlighted in brown here, this level 3 threat stretching as far east as the Mankato region. This does stretch through the Mississippi Riverside back into much of Wisconsin, ending towards Lake Michigan, but as far north as Duluth and as far as south as the Davenport area there, even a little bit further south than that. So a large swath here through the upper Midwest under the gun here for this severe threat to by Wednesday. In terms of more specific timing, what we know right now, putting that timing for Wednesday anywhere from around 1 o'clock in the afternoon through about 8 o'clock in the evening. However, there is a question, though, remaining, and that's how long will morning storms linger around in the area. We're watching for a line of thunderstorms to move through overnight Tuesday into early Wednesday, and if those stick around just a little too long, that may possibly impact our afternoon and evening round of storms. So still a couple questions remaining. Well, we should have a better understanding and guidance here on the storms. So looking ahead to tomorrow. Ahead for tomorrow morning, it will be a warmer start to the day there. You can see temperatures into the mid to upper 60s. Areas of fog, though, possible as well. We could be looking at those foggy conditions. They're already starting here at this hour south of the Rochester region, but overnight through that morning commute could be looking at some pockets of dense fog possible as well. So use some extra caution there with that morning commute. By the afternoon time, though, things really ramping up heat-wise. We'll be looking at high temperatures there into the mid upper 80s, possibly approaching 90 in some locations. Plenty of sun High humidity as well. We'll be looking at dew points tomorrow, anywhere from the upper 60s to possibly low 70s. So looking at that 10-day forecast, high heat and humidity here through Wednesday. Wednesday will be a first alert day as we track the threat for strong to severe storms. Maybe a few lingering stray storms come Thursday, but past that, a lot quieter with the forecast here heading into this weekend and especially next week. Check out those temperatures, much cooler, low 70s expected by Sunday into next week. So not only are we tracking that severe threat for Wednesday, but then a big temperature change on the way next week.
Next week will be a pretty nice break after all of this humidity.
Yeah, and then getting us through that stormy weather scare on Wednesday.
Yes.
Certainly a lot to keep an eye on. Thank you, Sarah.
Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast for Austin, Mason City, and Winona. We are gearing up for some high heat and humidity the next 2 days as we track high temperatures into those upper 80s tomorrow and possibly again on Wednesday. Dew points the next 2 days looking to be in the upper 80s, or excuse me, upper 60s to low 70s. First alert day ahead for Wednesday as we track the threat for strong to severe storms in the area and maybe a few lingering storms come Thursday, but things a lot quieter as we inch closer to the weekend. Temperatures also a lot cooler, expecting to see highs into those lower 70s by the second half of this weekend, extending into next week. So we have to get through some heat and humidity here the next 2 days before some cooler, more comfortable air returning by the weekend. Nick? Let's take one more look at that 10-day forecast. Some hot and humid conditions on the way for your Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday, keeping an extra close eye on as we have that first alert day ahead. We are tracking the threat for strong to severe storms on Thursday, mainly early afternoon into the evening hours. A few stray storms will linger into Thursday, but looking ahead to the weekend and especially next week, big temperature change on the way as well. Talking about temperatures cooling back into those lower 70s. We've been well above average for so long now. It'll be a shock to the system almost to be below average with temperatures in the low 70s.
And as far as Wednesday, we know things can change in a second, so make sure that you have ways to get updated weather information.
Yeah, get that First Alert Forecast app. This is the perfect time to do that. We have a news app for you as well, so we invite you to do both of those.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Good night, everyone.